does not disappoint after that. The founder of FUBU, the collection, and host of ABC's Shark Tank, writes like he talks, straightforward, down to earth, no bull. But don't take my word for it. Pick up his new book, The Brand Within, The Power of Branding from Birth to the Boardroom, and see for yourself. This is John's second book and his second time on Mr. Media Radio. Damon, welcome back to Mr. Media.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Good to talk to you. And Jay-Z and Nolan Bushnell, you do have some diverse influences, my friend.
You know, a brand is a brand. It doesn't have to be where it come from, you know?
Yeah. I hear you. You cover a lot of very different brands, but all recognizable throughout this book, and we're gonna talk about some of those in a little more detail. But I have to tell you that I really enjoyed reading the opening story in the book that explained how you got involved with Shark Tank and its creator, Mark Burnett.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to give it away. Obviously, Mark is a great brand, but sometimes even guys like Mark, you got to really think about it if you want to be involved with them.
And you weren't entirely sure.
Well, I wasn't entirely sure for one main reason. It's my money. I thought, I'm going to get on the show and, make a lot of buku bucks and everything. I didn't think that I was going to go spend my money and then also have to go and work and deal with a bunch of entrepreneurs afterwards in a downturned economy.
Well, and I remember the first time we spoke, I was surprised because I didn't quite understand that part of the show. Not only are you and Barbara Corcoran and Kevin Harrington and the others on the show and dealing with these entrepreneurs and getting kind of their elevator pitch and making a decision if you want to invest, so you're putting your own money on the line. I don't think people really still entirely get that. But you also have to put your time in. It's not a it's not a sit back and just profit from it. You've got some risk going on there too.
Yeah, well, trust me, if it was the network's money, then I would sit back. But once it's yours, you got to look over that bad boy.
Mark Burnett not putting up any of his mega bucks for your investment purposes.
Well, Mark, I think he actually, in this instance, he always put up his mega bucks for his other shows, but this one he actually teamed up with ABC. So I think he's becoming smart. Like I should be use other people's money,
What was that? OPP? Oh no, that was OP. This would be OPM. Other people's money.
I like the OPP stuff too as well.
So I got to ask you though, and we're going to talk about the book in detail, but I have to ask you. So you're putting up your money, your time, as are the other panel members on Shark Tank on ABC. Does Mark participate at all in these investments? By contract, does he have like a % or 2? Does he get a taste?
Well, there are options that him and ABC have that I can't disclose, but they don't necessarily, and they haven't in any of the deals that I know of, decided to participate. I think that they wanted the best for the show, and they wanted to make sure the entrepreneurs as well as we don't get discouraged. But I think there's options if the thing, all of a sudden becomes, the new Apple,
Right. Well, and maybe take a minute and explain to folks how the show works. People come on, they're chosen by the producers, right? And then they come in and they pitch you guys?
Yeah, they're chosen by the producers, and these are people that could either have just an idea that needs funding, or a lot of these people already have an existing business. The business could be lasting 2 years already or 10 years. And they've gotten turned down by all the banks. They have no other place to go. They're on their second mortgage, already spent the kids' college fund, broken open a granny's piggy bank, and they're looking for some money. And a lot of them are looking for strategic partners as well. So when they come on the show, it's 5 of us sharks, and they basically say, listen, I'm going to give you my company, 20% of my company for $100,000. And it's our decision to either give them the $100,000 or nothing. They can't leave with 50. But the only area they do have to negotiate is the percentage. And I may think that I want 50 or 100% of their company for that amount of money. And that's when the entrepreneur is really faced with the fact that every dream has its price. And is he willing to pay the price or give that away? And, if the other sharks think that they want the company more than I do, they can lowball me and try to cut me out of the deal, which I have been cut out of the deal several times. And I've done some cutting. And it just becomes a vicious 3-ring circus.
And how many companies, how many entrepreneurs who've come on the show have you actually invested real dollars in?
Well, I had the intention of investing in 13, which I knew obviously that all wasn't going to happen because of people lack of when we got to a due diligence process, which could take anywhere from 2 months to about 5 months. We'd find out that people maybe have been fudging the numbers or just didn't know any better or just didn't have all the things that they presented they had. So, I expected to hopefully get about 5 winners, and I think that I probably have about 3 right now that are really close to. And some I have put the money in, actually, the first set of funding. I have about 3 right now.
Okay. Well, you know what? I have a 2-minute clip from one of the shows this season, and it's you and Barbara Corcoran going back and forth about a sweet potato pie man. I'd like to play that for a minute and then come back and we'll switch gears and we'll talk some about the book. Is that all right with you?
Okay, sure.
All right, here we go. Let's play that clip.
3 sharks are out. Barbara and Damon are still in. Will one of them give Mr. Todd the financing he desperately needs?
Barbara? Damon, what do you want to do?
I'm not out, but I don't want to go in for as much money as you need. So who do we have left? How about you, Damon? Can you come in with me on this? Because can I tell you, I love what I hear, and I have no doubt you don't have to learn the same lesson twice. So I'd like to go in for half, but I need twice the equity. $230 I could give you, but I want 20% for that.
Damon.
You know what? This is a very tough decision for me to make because you remind me of me. But I would need 50% of the company. And then if you want to go in half, we'll go half on it. But I would also need to see orders, real orders, because how are your customers paying you at the moment?
On the wholesale side, it's mostly cash customers.
That cash in this economy is going to dry up.
Well, I certainly understand what you're saying, sir. I recently read an article in a magazine, and it talked about the 7 best industries for the recession, and one of them was comfort foods. I like to say when we're not feeling good, we feel a little down, you go get something that makes you feel a little better, and that's what Mr. Todd's Pie is doing.
Todd, stop for a second.
Who doesn't love pie?
Stop for a second, because this is one of those moments. You got to really think about this, because you're a good guy. I don't want you to leave here and make a mistake.
You came in here only ready to give up 10%. If you accept their offer, you'll be giving up half of your company.
Think about
it. Would you consider, in exchange for me accepting that?
If you do counter, I will counter.
Ooh, I like that.
How do you like those pies?
Yeah, see? All of a sudden, the all fun, emotional stuff out the window.
That's what I love about money. No emotions, no tears, just reality.